Next up, Greg Johnson from Minnesota. Listed height 6'6", weight 325. Shane, I'll go ahead and let you talk a little bit about Greg, and then I'll come into my notes here.
Well, this is another guy that you can really see him play a couple different positions. Minnesota in the last couple years has done a great job bringing in guys, developing them, and helping them. A lot of them put on weight. Greg Johnson's one of those guys that's kind of grown into the position he is. Minnesota's a power run game. Even their passing attack is mostly play action. So he is not afraid to get into it. I think for him, run blocking is light years ahead of pass protection right now. Um, he's a guy, though, I think the weight and the height are pretty dead on. When you see him, he definitely seems to match up well in those size categories. Um, as opposed to Cohen Eccles, who we just discussed, hand placement is excellent for Greg Johnson. Um, really sets himself up to not have to overextend himself in the drive blocking. Um, Pass protection, there's still some elements, but again, you're going against they're filming him last year. You're going against Ohio State. Well, the entire defense from Ohio State got picked in the first round. So, like, yes, you see those times where he does get beat cleanly, but you also understand, there's definitely some issues about how those things are going to play out. Um, I think that for him to continue on, this is really just a year of stacking those numbers. When I watch the film, there's not a ton of discrepancies. I don't see a guy that I'm going to I think will just be moving down the charts. I think he's going to continue to build. I think he'll be good in the room. And so he's going to start to rise up slowly. The thing for him, though, is there's no, again, we've talked about it. That's why these guys kind of sit in that level. There's no defining trait where you just go, this guy is so far above everybody else. I think when you look at him in the combine at some of those technique drills, I think he's going to have really impressive numbers because he's a guy that's going to work on those to make sure it shows up. But he's not going to run, he's not one of these guys that's running a 4.6, 4.7 40 and then getting ready to just
Yeah.
explode onto the draft.
I'm pretty much with you there. So, let me run through the Greg Johnson stats and then we'll hash out anything that's left over. Fairly quick feet in pass blocking, so I like that. The feet do shuffle and move. That's always a big help, man. It just always is. Um, you've mentioned dancing bears for a couple of years now as we've worked together. That always helps when you're this big and you can move your feet quick. Even if you're not a great player, it can help you get out of trouble when somebody's got you beat, right? Just those quick feet. So he did have fairly quick feet. I do like that. One of the first things I noticed right away, he looks confused or surprised a lot. Like he wasn't even expecting to have to block certain guys. That surprised me. Or maybe he's checking the inside guy too long and not moving off that to hit the outside guy. Sometimes though, it was almost like he just wasn't maintaining focus on the outside rusher, like he was trying to split duties or something. So I don't usually see that from offensive linemen. I do see it from time to time. That did seem to be a problem with him. So you never know. Does that mean the coaching staff is asking him to do a little bit too much? Does that come from him playing 2 games at tackle and the rest of the season at guard? Did that contribute to it this past year? I'm sure it did. Or does he just need to do a little bit more, off the field work to make sure that he's got an understanding of what he's supposed to be doing? But I did see that. Um, the technique and balance both look good to me. You already hit that. Technique wise, looks good. Balance looks good. I mean, that's how many guys do we talk about that have a ton of talent, but they don't look good technique wise, and their balance is all over the place. We're going to mention a guy later tonight that's the same thing. Well, this guy looks technique and balance looks really good. I mean, I really liked that. You already mentioned that. Can be beat inside or outside on occasion, but in general, the pass blocking is good from a physical standpoint. Like this guy's capable of pass blocking, so I didn't see a problem there. Um, The anchor is okay. It's never dominant. I didn't see him driving people as much as I would, maybe hope that a guy could. But I didn't see him get pushed into the quarterback either. That wasn't a big thing. So I thought his anchor, his drive was solid, not fantastic. Didn't see a lot of athleticism. Now,
Hmm.
Minnesota did not ask him to move around a lot. There's not even many instances of him doing that. But in what few instances I did see him move outside his circle, I didn't see a lot of athleticism there. And you already said that as well. Probably not going to blow it out at the combine, right? Which is fine. If he's a guy that works in his station, that is just fine. I'm happy with that. Um, he could probably do a little bit more if they needed him to, but still limited athleticism. The run blocking looked good, especially though. Um, I thought when they just needed him to open a hole. I like that. They didn't always run to his spot as much as I would have liked for an NFL prospect, but still, this was a guy that could open a hole, and so that's important. You can count on him to do that. So the things that I do like about him, the balance and the technique are all solid. The height weight does seem to hold up, 6'6", 325. That's important. The quick feet, that's important. And then the ability to open a hole, those are all important things there. So I check on that. Um, I just didn't see a lot of high end talent. So where, say, for instance, Cohen Eccles we just talked about, that's a guy that might could launch up into the top 50 if he gets his act together. I don't see Greg Johnson launching in the top 50 from a talent standpoint, but this is a guy that I would be proud to add to my offensive line. So right now, I've still got him back in that rounds 4 to 7, probably closer to fourth, fifth round is where I've got him. If he continues to do, like you said, just kind of add to the numbers, I might be interested in getting him higher. But for now, I'm at rounds 4 to 7. Last thoughts on Greg here?
Well, I think to kind of wrap up what you mentioned too, Ben, he did play some tackle, more guard. I think he is better
Yeah.
suited technique wise, and like you said, with a lack of athleticism to play inside. Um, you mentioned with him, uh, looking to the outside, letting edge rushers by. I really think there are some times where, like you even mentioned, either is it confusion or is he so used to having somebody to his outside to get
Right.
that block, to
Right.
chip, to go to the outside, where he's like, well, if I let him go this way, I have more room around the quarterback. It's almost like when he moved inside to guard, he still thought he was pass protecting out at tackle, and you're laying a defensive lineman right into your quarterback because now he's not behind him; he's right in his face.
Yes.
Um, I think I had mentioned it before, and you kind of hit on it again, Ben. I think he's going to be a guy that technique wise, you're going to go, okay, I see his limitations. He's going to be one of those guys where I don't think the ceiling continues to rise, but I think they're going to get a pretty good concept of where his floor is going to be as a talent. And when you mentioned it as well, I don't think he's a guy that hits a big rise, unless there's something in him that just comes out, or if Minnesota has just an absolutely dominant season this year. Um, but there's a lot of other offensive linemen in the Big Ten that are going to take eyeballs off of him. So, uh, like I said, and you mentioned, I think he's a late round guy. I think he's a guy that can swing because he can play. Probably can play center as well, guard and tackle. So he gives you options. But from the like you said, now almost 20 offensive linemen we've gone through, I would definitely put him on the lower end of the athletic side from what we've discussed.
Yeah, same boat. This is a guy that to me should get drafted if he has another good year, but it's probably not going to be in the desirability top 100, top 75 kind of a grouping for me. That is Greg Johnson, Minnesota.